Hey there, hey, and thank you for tuning into this hump day pod of Born to Be a Star. Today is another day, another opportunity for you to recognize your power, star power. And we have so much to talk about today. So, first, let's get into the idea of you recognizing your star power by reflecting on the mirror, reflecting on where you've been and where you're going to next, right? When you look at yourself in the mirror, you should be saying to yourself, that you like your reflection, or you should be attempting to like your reflection. That should be something that you're doing. And reflecting on where you've been and where you're going is just the initial first step, right? The second step, the second stage of this process is acknowledging that you are who you're becoming. So let us start off the day the correct way by saying to ourselves, yes, we can learn a new language, learn a new hobby, try something new, change our minds, do something different, move, buy a new car, decide we want to be homeowners instead of renting something, decide we want to learn how to cook new foods we've never cooked before. Maybe we want to travel more, or we want to travel less. Maybe we want to spend more time with our family, or we want to spend less time with our family. Maybe we want to change our new favorite color, or maybe we want to change our style. Maybe we want to continue to become comic book nerds, or we want to start doing puzzles, like really serious puzzles. Maybe we want to get more politically involved in what's happening, not just in the country that we live in, but the world we live in. Maybe we want to see and be the light and the stars that we are. The idea is, yes, we can. Outside of the idea of yes, we can is the idea of never giving up. And how can you possibly love yourself or anyone else if you're not going to persevere through the difficulty to get back to the good? Life is not easy. It is always hard. We have to find some sort of medium in that and laugh and smile and be happy. Even if we aren't like experiencing the best life ever, we should still be trying. Moving on from, you know, the never give up, thanks John Cena. Let's move on to the why not today. Now, if you put your life on a back burner and you procrastinate and you're indecisive and you don't make decisions and you don't do things a certain way, they're never going to get done. That's not how you succeed, right? Procrastinating, not doing things, putting everything on the back burner, saying you're going to get to it tomorrow, it's not going to lead you anywhere. It's going to lead you to destruction, not success. So, taking that into consideration, though, where do we go from here? That's the question, right? Where do we go from here? If something's not working, you have to figure out a way to fix it. If something's not going the way it needs to be going, then you have to find a way to get it back on track so it can go the way it needs to go. I'm a person that likes to organize everything that I can, including my wardrobe, including how I'm eating, including how I'm living. I try to structure everything, right? Sometimes I'm able to go to the gym 3 times a week. Sometimes I'm able to go 2, depending on how busy I am and what my schedule's like. I understand that life has to be a balance. But the idea of why not today is, if the dishwasher's not working and you are someone that's using the dishwasher, you gotta get it fixed. If there's something wrong with the washing machine in the basement and you can't fix the washing machine in the basement, how are you gonna wash the clothes? How are you gonna get to work if you can't drive your car? Are you really gonna get on the bus and take Ubers? Ubers aren't that cheap, man. What are you gonna do to make your life different? That's the question. And why not today is a way for us to stare it right in the face and say, no, I'm going to get it all done because I'm an organizer. And life can't fool me because I'm 5 to 10 steps ahead of it. Snap of a finger, light in the darkness. Why not today? Because I might not have tomorrow and we can't control time. That's why we say that. We're aware that the aliens can come down at any point and just eat us for breakfast. So instead of us waiting to be eaten for breakfast, we're ready and prepared to fight the aliens off with anything we have available, including our Yorkie Terriers that bark a lot and will pee on anything. So if you're coming for us, you're going to have to deal with that. Just saying. Moving on from the mantra, thank you for taking that time with me. That was a lot of fun. Let's get into the main part of the conversation with some of the headlines. So, it looks like the Trump case is on a break until next week. I'm not really understanding that break, because why are we giving these people all this time to be able to talk to other people when they're in the middle of a case? Typically, if you are on a case, right, and you are a person that's dealing with the case, you're not supposed to be surrounded by other people like that, especially a case with Donald Trump. This almost seems like a joke. Like, is this a real case in the court of law? Because I do have experience with law, right? I was always very interested in it, and I almost went to law school to become a lawyer, honestly. So I'm kind of confused. I don't really understand how any of this stuff can be taken seriously. There are rules and regulations, and they're not following any of them. I'm kind of waiting for an adult to show up to be like, yeah, this shit's not going to fly. This is going off on a pill. So how long do we have to wait for that? I mean, the Letitia James thing was a joke. The Fannie Willis thing was a joke. That woman needs to be disbarred, and any power she has should be taken away from her. Listening to her on a podcast, listening to her try to claim that people are against her is insane. She had an affair with a man, and she got reelected into her position because wherever it is that she's running for is a ghetto. And I'm just going to say it. I'm not trying to offend anybody that lives in different places, especially if you're of a minority and you live in a minority location, right? I'm not trying to offend anybody, because I'm personally a person that loves everyone, and I don't see color, I see gray. Taking that into consideration, though, she's ghetto, ignorant, and belligerent, and an idiot. And she has gotten reelected into position even after everything that she did. As corrupt as she is, they still elected her back into that position. I don't know how that's possible, but how long are they going to run these shitty cases and attack Donald Trump? Did they think that was going to help Biden? Because Trump has been in a courtroom for weeks, and his numbers are still ahead of Biden, and he hasn't really done anything. Sure, he had the rally in New Jersey. He did a great job with that. He talked at the NRA thing. He's been doing a lot of things. Of course, he's been talking on truth. And now he's going to meet up in South Bronx. And pause for a moment, because today the political conversation was about AOC attacking Donald Trump, saying he's an embarrassment. I want to make one point, and I could cuss and be vulgar and mad and angry and a bunch of things to AOC, but I'm not going to do that. Maybe those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. You are a belligerent idiot. The idea that you have enough self-esteem within your body to think it's appropriate for you to attack anyone outside of yourself and the reflection looking back at you is insane. You had the audacity to tell Amazon not to support the area that you represent in South Bronx. And did you call the people that live there Bronxies? Because that's totally disrespectful. Nobody wants to be called these pet names that you give to them. And do you actually represent the South Bronx? Because you are some bougie, wannabe, look-alike, wig-wearing, eyebrow, eyelash, lipstick, fake woman. Just like the other woman that got called out by Marjorie Taylor Greene in the courtroom in the House. You're all ugly, disrespectful, ignorant, and just stupid. And you went to some supposed Ivy League institution. Well, it didn't help your brain. My God, how dumb you are. No one likes you. except for the 5 people standing around you telling you how cool you are. You're something similar to Joe Biden, where he's surrounded by yes people telling him everything he wants to hear, because no one is man enough to tell him, bro, you're losing. It's time for you to go. The Democratic Party can't do that now. So nobody's going to be the person to tell you, AOC, shut the fuck up. You're not helping the Progressive Party by being a fucking idiot. Just like Jamal Bowman isn't helping the Progressive Party, or Pramila Jayapal, or any of you idiots. But continue. Continue to attack people and act the way that you do. Because the more you continue to do that, the better it's going to be for us. You aren't going to continue to get people to show up and vote for you in that district of the South Bronx. And I guarantee you a lot of New Yorkers are not happy with you. Going to these expensive galas and these expensive gowns with your $170,000 Tesla and your secret relationship with your husband or boyfriend or whatever he is. By the way, he's white. So you come after all these white people, but you're married to one and you sleep in the same bed with a man that's white. Now, my husband is Caucasian as well, and that doesn't have anything to do with it. But I don't run around talking about people's race, and neither should you. Nobody should do that. It doesn't matter the color of anybody's skin. None of that matters. But to you it does, because these are the only things that you talk about all the time. You're ignorant. And you didn't help, because the first place you showed up for a job was a bar, which tells me you're really incompetent. You could have at least showed up to some sort of retail environment, even if it wasn't really a big ordeal. Maybe you showed up in a store, but a bar? That means you needed a lot of money and you needed to do something that didn't require a lot of skill set. That's how you ended up in a bar. And I'm not insulting bartenders, because they do a lot of hard work and they're the industry of the people. But you, my dear, are an idiot. And screaming girl, my girl, to Marjorie Taylor Greene, showing your character the way you do, is an insult to any woman of any race, of any age, anywhere, but especially in the United States of America, and most importantly, especially in New York. You're not a New Yorker. Because if you were, you'd shut the fuck up and look at all the bums around you. Look at the people getting murdered, killed, raped, stripped of their identities, and harmed in every way. Look at the people running up in the store, stealing shit, and the decay of the New York. Right? You'd see everything that's not going well. But instead of that, you're still yakking, and now you're complaining about Donald Trump. Dear AOC, nobody likes you, and your days are numbered. Not because somebody's going to attack you or something like that, but because the people that live where you represent don't like you. They don't believe in anything you're saying, and you are a con artist, and everybody has seen your game. And guess what? The house isn't going to win. The people are. You're out. Your days are one by one. You're next. We're not just coming for you, AOC. And when I say we, I'm talking about the American people beside me. My brothers and my sisters, their races don't matter. Neither does mine. We are all great together. We are Americans. We put America first. God, country, family. That is how we live. That is our tribute. You can say whatever you want about us. You can make fun of people because they don't talk the way you do, or they don't live in some big-ass overpriced city the way you do. And don't get me wrong, I love New York. I always will. It's a part of who I am, just like I love New Jersey, too. I love these places because I've been to them many times. I have family members that live in New York. I know New York like the back of my hand, especially South Bronx, Spanish Harlem, any of these places, Manhattan, any of these places, I know it, because I've been there. But the point is, you have messed up, and so has the rest of them. You're assuming that you can still squander around and mess up and pretend and lie to the people that you're supposed to represent, and you think you're going to stay in power? Are you crazy? You are. It's not just you that's doing this, though. The president is doing it too. And they think getting some celebrities to show up is going to help them. I'm totally a Swiftie, but Taylor Swift can't save the Democratic Party. No one can. You guys are going to lose. I mean, not just did AOC come out and say that ridiculous crap today, but it looks like an FBI raid went to the offices of the business owned by Soros-backed district attorney, Attorney Jody Owens. Got his house barged into by the FBI looking for some stuff that was belligerent, it appears. No surprise. Daily Wire goes woke. Harvard Corporation breaks with faculty, votes to block 13 anti-Israel encampment protesters from graduate. I think that all these people that are supporting Hamas and saying that they're Hamas, screaming in cameras, running around college campuses in any state in America, shouldn't be able to graduate, shouldn't be able to continue to be a student, should be expelled, and should be forced to pay back their student loans as soon as possible. That's what I think. What are they doing? They're not working at jobs if they're running around protesting all day. And how are you supporting Hamas? Do you know what Hamas is? Tell me you understand what these people are that are saying from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. But Palestine won't be free because Palestine is not taking over Israel. And no, the Jewish people will not fall back down and allow you to condemn their creation and their being and who they are. I might not know a lot about Jewish faith to the degree where I can tell you word for word what it means, or to give you word for word views of what they pray for, or how they celebrate their holidays for their Jewish belief, especially for the Orthodox Jews. But what I can tell you is I respect the fact that they have something that they believe in, and I'm not trying to take that away from them. Just like I understand Muslims have their thing as well, Assalamu alaikum, and I don't have anything against that. I don't really like the way that people condemn the idea of Christianity or Catholicism, but they don't attack like Muslim views. That still confuses me, and I don't understand it. And it really pisses me off, actually. Just like how it pisses me off that you can't be Jewish or Catholic, but especially Jewish. I have told you so many times I have Jewish friends, and I don't understand the idea of anti-Semitic actions. Because when I see my friends, I don't see them being Jewish. I see them being who they are. And Jewish is a part of that. So for me, I don't get it. But okay. What else is going on right now? There's a new Trump Nazi lie out. Modern dating scene is a nightmare because people don't talk to each other. They go on apps and they think that's the answer. Ha. It looks like there is a letter from a Harvard community calling for encampment protesters to face significant consequences, and we just talked about it. So far, they have 500 signatures. I hope they get 500,000 signatures. I'm totally chill with that. Cruz grills Biden nominee for putting serial child rapists with male genitalia in women's prison. I mean, how the hell did that happen? Morgan Wallen won't be getting his name on new bar due to his harmful actions. Happy to hear that. John Kerry actively and persistently interfered with FBI arresting terrorist criminals supporting illegal Iranian weapons? Of course he did. Hardline Dutch political leader Geert Wilders gives passionate defense of Israel to Parliament. I don't know if that's going to be enough for the ICC, which is a totally incompetent body of whatever the hell it is. Chiefs head coach Andy Reid and his quarterback Patrick Mahomes defend teammate Harrison Butker. I mean, why wouldn't they defend him? Do you know that the owner and his wife came out and said that they 100% support what he said? And I can't help feeling like I do too. As a Catholic, as a Christian, and as somebody that believes in the conservative views, as a young woman, why can't it be that something you'd be focusing on after you graduate would be building your family and getting married and starting life and following God's way? What is wrong with that? Why can't we do that? Why can't having kids and being a mom and a dad be the most important thing to you? I'm not saying you can't have a career. I'm not saying you can't do that. But shouldn't the most important thing to you be your family? The idea that you're attempting to take that away to punish him because he was talking at a Catholic graduation where he was invited and you weren't invited to it, and all these motherfuckers on all these news stations, Jake and the dumb bitch on The View and all these other people have something to say about him because none of them believe in anything. Now, I have to continuously hear people attack my people from that believe in the same thing I do, Catholicism. I didn't just wind up being Catholic. I take it very seriously, the principles and all the values that go into Catholicism. It's my faith and it's what I follow. I didn't grow up Catholic, but as a homage and as a respect to Nana Peg, my promise to her, because God took her to heaven to go with Papa, is that I would follow in her footsteps and I would try to be the best mom I could be following after her. And I'm going to try not to cry saying that. So taking into consideration how seriously I take Catholicism, I go to Mass every Sunday, blood, sweat, and tears, right? And I follow our Father, and I do everything I can within my own right to make sure I'm trying to live my best life I can through Jesus Christ, right? The idea that they would attack him like that for saying that he loves his wife and he's crying because he's so grateful about his amazing life with his family, and that you would attack that, and that the bitch from The View would tell him to go cry to his mommy. I mean, God, you fucking people suck. I'm so glad I have God. I'm so glad I have a church and a parish and a husband and a family that loves me, and I'm not lost. I'm not seeking anything. I'm so glad God let me find where I'm supposed to be. And I hope if you're listening to this, you find that too. Do not get lost with these people attacking Buckner. The NFL is not a good representation of the people that are in it. Like, sometimes you work for a woke company that's not a good representation for you and your actual values. And that's okay. But the idea that they're attacking him is kind of hilarious. Trump leads Biden in 5 of the 7 swing states. We know it. Bail for illegal migrant accused of killing Washington state trooper slashed from $1 million to $100K. Why? Because they don't want to punish anybody doing anything wrong. Looks like the Top Gun star explained why he's moving away from Hollywood, because Hollywood sucks. The Daily Wire show is poking fun at Kamala Harris because she sucks. Looks like a GOP chair is flashing a subpoena over Pulaski after her book fuck up. And the serial killer known as the pig farmer killer was brutally beaten in prison and he's not expected to live. That's hilarious. Biden administration continues uh, crackdown on pro-life protesters with new lawsuit. Of course, not surprised. Two suspects were arrested for New Year's Eve mini bike attack of 90210 actor. My God, is anybody safe anymore? Why is it that parents can't dislike the idea of a little boy dressing up like a little girl, pretending he's a girl in a girl sport? Why do you just have to be willingly okay with other sexes being in different sports? What do little girls have to look forward to? Nothing. Because they're going to be replaced by boys. A school strike for Gaza? I don't know why. If these kids are going to go on a strike for Gaza, then they shouldn't be able to graduate. They shouldn't be able to take SATs. They shouldn't be able to get into college. They shouldn't be able to do anything. If you want to support Gaza so much, why don't you have your parents fly you there and you can stay there forever? These people need real consequences and they're not getting any. And I'm getting really tired of hearing their goddamn complaints and their bitching. Comer joins forces with a Democrat. I don't know why. And I witnessed him do it on the Bear show at 6 and I didn't like it. Comey shouldn't be saying anything from the FBI because he is a red flag. Moving on from that, Jim Jordan has done a great job pissing off more Democrats, and I hope he just continues to piss them off. I love it. It's good for me. Moving on from that, let's get to my main part of the conversation. Those were some of the headlines of the day. Very interesting. Also, a DNC... Fuck, let me go back to that. I still can't believe that the golfer that was in the car got attacked like that. I don't really know if it warranted that reaction from those people to him, but okay. LAPD DA launches a criminal investigation into Matthew Perry's death. Do they think he got murdered? I don't know. Maybe. It did seem kind of weird for me. I was not okay with the findings and the ending of that. That seemed really suspicious to me. How did he just randomly die like that? He also didn't seem like a person that did drugs like that. I could be wrong, but it's very sad. Like, I really miss him. Again, that was a show that is always going to be a part of who I am. You know how Biden and his administration keep claiming they need to send more things into Gaza for the Palestinians? Well, turns out none of the stuff they've sent to Gaza has gone to the Palestinians. Instead, it's gone to Hamas and a bunch of other thieves. Why did Biden offer any condolences to Iran? Why do we care? It looks like, oh, this is what I wanted to talk about. Fuck, almost forgot it. It looks like Ukraine isn't going to win anything, and they're losing, like I said. And now they're trying to, suck the toes of Russia so they'll stop killing people. But I don't think Putin should stop. I think he needs to teach him a very valuable lesson. One in which he continues to beat their ass, and he doesn't offer anything. You wanted it, so now you've got it. The only dictator here isn't Putin solely, but it's the guy in charge of Ukraine too, who's taken away your ability to vote for anything and condemning you if you're a Christian. So who's really the dictator here? I wonder. Looks like Biden is going to the reserves to lower the price of gas for the summer again. He continues to use all the gas from the reserves, and we might need that at a later point. What's going to be his excuse at that point? It was very interesting last night to listen to Bear on uh, Greg. I really enjoyed it. Those are the headlines of the day. I'm going to support Trump and his endeavors with this ridiculous case. And I'm just going to hope that these people that are making this decision understand what's going to happen with their, like, judgments. I said in my topics of the conversation, the more that they attack Trump, the more Trump wins. He is not even doing election things because he's been stuck in a court. And the idea that AOC attacked him like that just makes me think she's attacking him because she's mad that he's winning and she's losing. Why hasn't Nancy retired? Because Nancy is a crooked old wench. And she doesn't have anywhere to go. She doesn't have anything to do with her fake tits and her ugly face, right? And her gay husband and everything going on wrong with her life. What's she going to do? She loves being corrupt. She loves stealing money from the American worker in the middle. She loves making everything hell for everyone else while she gets to live in her big ass mansion far away from everything. Well, I think we should give Nancy exactly what she deserves. A big firing. Hunter should go to jail, but it looks like now they've stretched out the timing to condemn him. Oh, no surprise. We need a new DOJ, but we're not going to get one until we get Trump in the office. And finally, 100 show up to the campaign for Joe Biden. Joe Biden doesn't have the numbers at these campaigns he does, and he's so slow. Do they actually think he's going to be able to compete with a guy that's in a fucking courtroom that's beating him? This shit's ridiculous. The more I have to listen to these lunatic lefties, and I live in a state that is full of white liberals, and I don't understand it. And another question I have is, how can you be a heterosexual man that's married with a wife and or kids and vote democratically? You get up every day and you go to work, but you're voting democratically? I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. We really need to look at the way we're doing things, and we really need to figure out an ending for this so we can get rid of Biden. Moving into the main part of the conversation, can we trust doctors? According to Candace Owens and me, no. Right? I don't like the idea that a doctor is just going to stand there and say whatever the fuck you want, and you're the patient. Now, my last doctor, Dr. Eisenberg, or whatever the fuck her name is, she left. She was pregnant, and I don't know what happened, but she left the practice that I go to, so I had to switch my doctor to Dr. Chan, and I'm kind of left just confused at this point. Like, now I gotta talk to a whole new fucking doctor again. I gotta go through all this ridiculous shit, and I just don't understand it, and it's just very irritating to me. I don't think that we can trust doctors. After the whole COVID thing and the vaccination thing and the idea that they want you to be obese and fat and ignorant and desperate, and they want you to get a surgery so you continue to go back to them, that for me has me wondering, like, seriously, I don't know how we do this. The auto industry suffers because they keep trying to push electric cars and nobody wants to buy them. Can we ignore stupidity? I mean, I do it all the time. Basically, if somebody's stupid and they start talking, just stare at a wall so you don't look at them, because you don't want to accidentally, like, get the contagion of dumb. People say stupid stuff all the time. I talk about politics all the time, right? So obviously, I'm constantly surrounded by people that probably disagree with everything that I say. Taking into consideration people disagree with what I'm saying, that's probably because they're incompetent and they don't actually understand politics or politicians or the House or the Senate or the working class or the the higher class and the elite class. They don't understand the fact that the Davos thing and the guy in charge of the World Forum just decided to back down, probably because they got so much negative insight from the public around them that they had to get rid of him. And he's not the only one to leave a position like that. There's been so many people leaving so many things so many different times that we're really left in a place where we're wondering what's real and what's not real. Isn't that a great question? Can we ignore stupidity? You can ignore stupidity, but you also have to set a boundary around stupidity so you don't catch it by showing that you're smart, right? And being smart is not just saying words that are long and being able to spell them too. It's having an acumen. It's having a disposition that people probably don't agree with. And it's having an understanding of life. Because you can be book smart, but if you're not book smart and street smart, you're not smart. You have to understand. It's being aware of the fact that you're understanding where you are, where you're located, and everything that's around you. You also have to be knowledgeable. You have to understand things outside of a normal conversation. Do you know how many dull, ignorant idiots there are? A lot. In order to set yourself apart from that, find something to know something about. There you go. That's how you defeat stupidity, by being smarter than it. What is the face value? So, I think the face value is what you see. I'm a believer in first impression is the only impression. So, if you fuck up with the first impression, you're not getting another first impression, right? If you're expecting to do something or succeed, you're not going to do it by not doing it right. One way or another, I'm going to find you. I'm going to get you one way or another. So basically, you're living. But you should be living for fun. You should be living to experience things, and you should be living to be unapologetically happy. Right? That's the idea of one way or another. Things are going to happen. Some things are going to be controllable. Others aren't. And we just have to learn to live our lives. And that might not be like in a book or an encyclopedia or a dictionary. Or there might not be like a way to do it. And my husband skips in the background being the pig he is. Ruining the podcast as always. But one way or another, you just have to live and you just have to love your life. Back roads are sometimes better than a highway, and if I'm given an opportunity to take a back road, I'm likely going to take it. Moving on from the main part of the conversation to watching things, currently Greg Gutfeld's on in the background. Pretty entertaining. He's got a bunch of good people on tonight. Stranger Things, will that return? I don't know, but I'm probably not going to watch it because at this point, I don't remember the story, and I'd have to rewatch the rest of it all over again, and I don't have time for that. Wrong Turns, how many of those are there? Wicked Intuitions. Everything Has Gone to Nothing. That looks pretty interesting. Holiday Plans. Weird Summer Go. That's some movie that I found on Paramount Plus. Pause. Design Down Under. Have you seen that? That looks like a really cool show. Gold Rush. White water. So are they finding like really cool things in the water when they're digging for it? I kind of want to do that, or I want to watch a show like that. I think there's a lot of that on the Discovery Channel. Pretty Little Liars Summer School, dude, that's on my list of things for me to look at. You know I'm a Pretty Little Liars enthusiast, and I cannot wait to watch that ASAP. Especially since I finished my other Netflix show. Woo! The Never Ever Met. I don't know about that. It looks okay, but I don't know if I want to watch that. Best Bite in Town, and some A-plus restaurant that looks like another food show that they just came out with. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but does it look like something I actually want to watch? I don't know. We'll find out. Those are good things. I did finish watching The Circle, but like I told you, I'm not a fan of what I witnessed on it, but maybe the next season will be better. I'm trying to figure out my new show I'm about to watch, but I'm still currently watching Gutfeld. Uh, Based on food, we had Wendy's for dinner tonight. That's what I wanted to talk about on No Media Allowed, but I forgot. So we originally wanted to go to Burger King, but the Burger King we went to was closed. So we had to end up going to Wendy's. And I ended up getting the Wendy's Sun Baconator with lettuce, tomato, onion, and it was pretty good. But I really wanted Burger King. That's what I really wanted, but I didn't get it. Bummer. So it appears that we are really in a horrible time right now in America with inflation, where things are closing left and right and nothing's being saved. So just be aware that the place you might like, the restaurant you're regular at, might not survive this. So be ready. Things are going to continue to close, especially restaurants, and I'm not sure how exactly a Burger King ends up closing, but it did. So who knows? Moving on from the Burger King shutting down, that really made me mad, and the fact that we had to go to Wendy's when I didn't want Wendy's and I wanted Burger King. Chicken wonton tacos looks pretty good. Cibatta veggie sandwich. I don't know. I'd say try it. Creamy chicken and corn pasta. I don't know how I feel about putting corn into pasta, but maybe I try it. Perhaps, maybe. Um, Crispy chicken mango cucumber rice bowl. Now that does sound like something I'd like to eat. Obviously, you chop up the cucumbers, you make a mango sauce, you add in some chicken or some sort of meat, and then you use like sushi rice, mix it all together with some jalapenos and some spicy mayo. Let's go. You know how I feel about all those types of things, and especially sushi. 100% ready and excited about that. I love rice bowls, and I love any way to get me to try things I haven't tried before. I'm looking forward to figuring out what we're going to have for dinner on Friday, because it's going to be something unique. We'll see what happens. Anyway, stars, that's the end of the pod. Thank you for tuning into this Hump Day edition of Born to Be a Star. And hopefully your Burger King hasn't closed where you live, but it did where we do. We'll see you tomorrow, same place, same time. Don't forget that you are a star wherever you are. In the darkness, you, me, us, they, them. We are not only going to change this world, this planet, this universe, but infinity and beyond, because we are omnipresent, sort of just like Jesus Christ. We were here when everything started. We'll be here when everything ends. We were here at the beginning, and we'll be here at the end of it all. We are something that is unstoppable, courageous, and always never ending. We are light. And I'll see you same place, same time tomorrow. Don't forget you're a star wherever you are. Bye. Night, night.